Crash Bandicoot was a legendary platforming series back in the day. Nobody can deny that. From 1996 to 1998, they made a legendary trilogy on the PS1, and after that they came out with a few Crash Bandicoots here and there that were okay, but from 08 to 2017 there was a huge drought in Crash Bandicoot. It went almost a decade with no mainline games, but ever since 2017, so for the past 7 years now, there's been a lot that has happened. So in 2017 there was the remastered trilogy. Now Toys for Bob helped on this. I believe it was just with the Nintendo Switch port, but Toys for Bob really made a name for themselves when they developed Crash Bandicoot 4. That was released in 2020, and so for the past 4 years, naturally, a lot of people have been saying, where is Crash 5? After all, Crash 4 did well in terms of sales, and it was even nominated for a lot of awards. Well, unfortunately, it just came out from a former artist of Toys for Bob named Nicholas Kole that the Crash Bandicoot 5 project was happening at one point, but it has since been canceled. So this was in a Twitter thread. Nicholas Kole was talking about a canceled project that he was working on called Project Dragon. Now, a lot of people were speculating that that had something to do with Spyro, even though he does not own the rights to Spyro or Crash. That is all Activision. So Nicholas Kole made clear on Twitter that no, Project Dragon has nothing to do with Spyro. And then for some reason, he talked about Crash Bandicoot and said specifically that someday folks will hear about the Crash 5 that never was, and it's going to break hearts. Now, at face value, this is very unfortunate if you believe that what Nicholas is saying is true, but this is something that is worth considering. So Toys for Bob was owned by Activision for the last 2 decades, and about 7 months ago in October of last year, Activision was bought out by Microsoft. I'm sure you know that. And then just a couple months ago in May of this year, Toys for Bob actually went independent. They separated themselves from Activision. So this is my point. It is very possible that what Nicholas is referencing is some sort of Crash 5 project that emerged at some point after Crash 4 released in 2020, but could have been canceled for a number of different reasons within the last year. It could have been something with Microsoft buying Activision. Maybe for whatever reason they didn't want Toys for Bob developing it at that time. Or maybe it even has to do with Toys for Bob leaving Activision 2 months ago. Maybe they were in the very preliminary stages of this Crash 5 project before they pieced out. It could also be because Nicholas Kole's understanding of the project is just limited to himself. It's not totally clear looking online when Nicholas Kole stopped working for Toys for Bob, or if it was always just a sort of partnership that he had with them. So hey, looking at it, attempting to be optimistic, assuming what he is saying is true, that Crash 5 was a project and it was canceled, does that mean the complete infinite end of the Crash Bandicoot series? No, of course not. Projects start, projects fail, projects get revamped. I mean, Halo Infinite, I think, went through like 10 different projects before it became what it is today. So in the short term, it is unfortunate news if you are a Crash fan, and I know a lot are, because obviously this is not an announcement for Crash 5, it's kind of the opposite of it. But money is, of course, the motivator of what companies do, and Crash is no stranger to making money. It's sold a lot of games, it's made a lot of fans happy, so while this is very unfortunate news right now, I don't think this series is going anywhere. And now with Xbox owning the company that owns Crash, well, I don't think they would pass up an opportunity to throw a hyped sequel onto Game Pass day one. So do not think that you have seen the last of Crash Bandicoot.